Do you even intel report, bro? Occasionally, yes, I do. Thanks for asking, though. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, of dark of night, wherever you are around the globe. It's the best globe. It's the best oblate spheroid. Believe me, it's not round. It's not round. Shalom, sheepdog. Good morning, Sean Kidd. James Pruitt knows the earth, it's not round. Shalom, Lee Roby. The reptilian overlords live at the center of the world in Antarctica in a giant hole that they found during Operation High Jump. It's the truth. Believe me. Hi, everybody. Good morning. How is everybody? Are you on fire? Self-check. Not on fire. Good. Good. Shalom, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Hermit Hill, good morning. Thank you all for being here. There's 89,200 and something of y'all. Bless you. I am, in fact, on fire. Everybody jump on Night Shaft. Unless you're wearing flammable clothing. Roll him down a hill or into a pond or spray him with the hose again. He did not put the lotion in the bucket, so spray him with the hose, okay? Gun. Chad Prowse. Gun. Gun me have. Me have gun. Me make no tyranny, Chad. Chad make good world. Chad protect. Chad have gun. What's up, adventurer? All right, guys. You guys know the deal. The entirety of this report is available on Patreon. Good morning, Grandma. You know where to find me. Danny, bless you. You guys know where to find me. Good morning, Andy. Is the DeBizzle still around? I don't know, brother. I don't know. I think the way that they're trying to deal with the pandemic now is remember in the Torah, there's two ways to clean things. Water and fire. So if the polar ice caps melt and we set everything on fire, no more DeBizzle, right? Problem solved. The brief is the bestest. You know it, Jay. You guys know it. The entirety of this report is on Patreon. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Please go check it out. We would not do this without Patreon. I don't think you guys understand, and you girls understand. Some of y'all do, but most of y'all don't. How antagonistic our relationship with the powers that be at YouTube really is. It's a constant old-timey J.A. Dudley, rock'em sock'em robots like this, back and forth. So if you'd like this brief to continue, please consider $1 or more a month on Patreon. We really appreciate you. Intel at bearindependent.com is how you get your tasty Intel nuggets to myself and the Dance Monkeys, which, by the way, I spent 75 minutes-ish this morning playing my drums. And I was like, you know what? Death metal's cool and all. Black metal's cool and all. What else could I play? And that song popped into my head. So I played that song twice at 360 BPM with the most ridiculous fills and double bass and blast beats you've ever heard. And then played Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. That's right, the same way. Oh man, off accents on the ride cymbal while blast beating and doing giant roll fills with double kick underneath it. It's the best, it's tremendous, believe me. All right, Intel at bearindependent.com. Intel report 2 June 2020 overview. The numbers continue to climb. We're all gonna die. This is true. I hate to break it to you, but one day we will all be worm food. Hopefully not today, or tomorrow, or next Tuesday, but one day we will all be worm food. This is what is wrestled with in the book of Ecclesiastes, written by the hand of Solomon in the Bible. And let's come to the conclusion of the matter. It's all folly. It's all chasing after the wind. So serve the Lord your God with a smile on your face. There you go. That's the answer. The numbers continue to climb. Global cases, 6,315,000. Active cases are 3,065,000. Global deaths, 374,954. Global recoveries, 2,875,000. U.S. cases, the best cases, the most tremendous cases, inside of the wall, 1,842,000. With 1,135,000 active cases. U.S. deaths are 106,323. It could just be me, but it seems like U.S. deaths are slowing down because we hit like 100,000 a week ago, and we've only jumped 6,000 deaths in a week. Now, I realize that when you say it that way, 6,000 deaths in 1 week, ah! You know how many people, unfortunately, have taken their own lives during that period? You know how many people have died of a heart attack? How many people, simply because they like Big Macs and Marlboros, are no longer here in the last week? Okay? Motor vehicle accidents right now are much lower because people aren't driving because, you know, international quarantine and all that horsepucky. But my point is, A, my wife must have been in this office before I was last time because it's now hot in here again and I got to go adjust the freaking thermostat. And B, 6,000 deaths in 1 week from the worldwide pandemic that's going to wipe us off the face of the earth is not that impressive. Now, on the one hand, again, we mourn for the loss of those people. On the other hand, do we shut down our entire economy because of 6,000 deaths in a week? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. U.S. recoveries, 601,049. Y'all talk quietly amongst yourselves. I got to go adjust the thermostat. 14 seconds? Hold on. Cool. Auto. Go. Go, go, thermostat ranger. All right. And we're back. U.S. recovery, 601,049. Hey, newsflash, everybody. Protests and riots continue. Racial tensions are escalating very rapidly. Note, many photos that have been made available on Patreon are simply unverifiable. I believe we dropped 34 pics and docs yesterday on Patreon, along with this brief, 34, along with the body of this brief, plus my commentary, plus a special brief, plus 3 more specials I got to drop for the $10 and up patrons within the next 7 days. I received six, that's this many, reports on my desk, and by desk I mean dining room table covered with toddler Play-Doh and scraps of paper yesterday. 6 from the Dance Monkeys. So clap hand for Dance Monkeys, but also things are moving a little rapidly right now. So those 34 pics and docs, take them for what they're worth. They're on Patreon for the $1 and up patrons. They're available essentially to everybody. If you're subscribed on Patreon, you don't miss a minute on everything that happens. Read intel at bearindependent.com. The spokeswoman for the U.S. State Department, let's try that again. The spokeswoman for the U.S. State Department has tweeted, quote, "This is a pivotal moment for the world. It will go down in history. Freedom-loving people around the world must stand with the rule of law to hold to account the Chinese Communist Party, which has flagrantly broken its promises to the people of Hong Kong." The spokeswoman of China's foreign ministry recently tweeted in a mocking response, quote, "I can't breathe." The Global Times and its editors are also mocking the U.S., which has criticized the handling of Hong Kong's riots. Yeah. There is something I want to point out, though. First of all, is that I am now mandating in my house that my older children watch this daily brief because we have prepared so well that they're kind of insulated from the chaos that is abounding around us, which is a good thing. That's the whole reason we prepare in the first place. But they lack a lot of context for what's going on in the world. So kids, this is for you. Literally, this is a pivotal moment for the world. It will go down in history. Understand that. I believe that. I believe this is a pivotal moment for the world because of what's happening here, because of what's happening elsewhere. I think, and this is not fear-mongering or doom reporting, I think we are inching towards the setup for what will be called World War III at some point, if we are not already in the Cold War that leads up to that right now. So this is a pivotal moment. Pay attention, eyes wide open. Don't just be inundated with the distractions that abound around us. Pay attention. I do believe we are living in history right now. Protests have now spread internationally. Berlin, London, and Toronto have held protests, though they appear to be peaceful so far. Trump has tweeted that Antifa will be designated as a terrorist organization, but experts believe that this is unconstitutional. This lack of an expert believes, you know what they are. Call a spade. Absolutely, treat them as such. China has suspended some purchases from American farms, such as soybean imports from the U.S. to China. It has agreed to buy 36.5 million of U.S. farm goods. I think that's 36.5 billion of U.S. farm goods before the coronavirus crisis, but has only managed to import 3.35 billion by April. So essentially, they're at a tenth of what they've committed to take from us this year. Guys, that's a good thing. The reason that's a good thing is that we need those foodstuffs here. Also, we don't need to be feeding our enemy. This is good. This is a good thing. Keep those resources here. Also, this morning, I did a mini update on Patreon on the drive into the office this morning. Trump has announced that the National Guard should be implemented by the governors of every state that is having issues with rioting. Not protesting, rioting. By the way, we have a First Amendment right to protest, to peaceably redress our grievances to our governors, the people who govern us, okay? That is not what's happening with this response to George Floyd. There is that, but in amongst that, you have bad actors that are then turning this into organized riots, highly funded, highly orchestrated riots to essentially create civil unrest and increase the divide between the two, my guess is, political factions, socioeconomic groups. Why? 2024. 2020 really, but 2024. We'll come back to that at a different time. Political reasons. Some people just want more power. Some people want more control. Some people want to see it burn. This is the Hegelian dialectic. You have thesis. Hey, a whiteboard. Over here you have thesis, and we have antithesis, or idea 1, idea 2, and out of this you get synthesis, or the merging of these. And so the way this works, okay, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, Hegelian dialectic. The way this works is you cause the problem and you essentially fund the reaction to the problem, and then you get to implement your own solution to the problem that you caused in the first place. Hegelian dialectic. I think that's what's going on right now. I think people that have way more money than all of us put together see opportunities for control, for power, for money. And so what we're seeing played on the streets of the United States right now that started as legitimately a protest in response to the death of George Floyd has been hijacked, knowingly hijacked, highly orchestrated into this, the Hegelian dialectic. Now, I was texting with a brother yesterday. I had this idea and do you even Ruach HaKodesh, bro, the Holy Spirit? Boy, and we're off on a tangent, so I'm going to come back. I'm coming back. Hold on. Right as I thought it, he texted me. He said, hey, somebody needs to grab the bill of lading off of those pallets of bricks. Yeah, somebody does need to start grabbing bills of lading off of those pallets of bricks. Let's see who's paying for these things, because don't you think they would be accountable on some level? If we're going to, if we're going to live in the litigious society that we do, let's see who supplied the bricks that got thrown through that shop owner's window glass, or your neighbor's backyard window, or whatever. Where is this stuff coming from? So, if you happen to see a pallet of bricks laying around in, let's say, Frisco, Texas, on the corner of the curb in the middle of a finished subdivision where protests are scheduled to take place, maybe see if there's a bill of lading stuck to the side of it. Let's find out whose information is on that, okay? Okay, awesome. 2 or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. Due to civil unrest, stores in many locations are closing, in some cases essentially cutting off supply of food and other goods. Do you even food crisis, bro? Do you even economic crisis, bro? Target is closing about 200 of its stores and or reducing hours. Remember, Target is based in Minneapolis, where this thing kicked off in the first place. Delivery routes have been affected by the civil unrest. Expect delays. Public transit shutdowns and road closures are occurring due to protests. The FDA found contamination in diabetes medication from several brands. The agency is being criticized for having fallen short in reviewing overseas plants in Asia. Remember the lead in kids' toys? Remember the poison in Chinese dog food? Hey, why don't y'all make our pharmaceuticals too? Good idea. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Y'all have the best interest of America at heart, right? Cool. Good idea. I love it. Love it. Let's outsource everything to China. It'll be great. Everything. All of it. I'm moving to China tomorrow. I hear that the real estate in Wuhan is really cheap right now. I'm going to go there and we're gonna start making IFACs there, like every other IFAC manufacturer in the country here in America. Oh, wait, did I just say that out loud? My bad. Yeah, we're gonna start making IFACs over there, and I'm just gonna let them be in charge of my health and my life and everything that I buy and everything that I touch and everything that I eat, everything that I consume, everything that I put in my body. It's great. It's a great idea. Awesome idea. Drink water. All right, I will. Sorry, guys. Should have outsourced our prisons over there. I agree. Coffee, says Brad Spriggs. I agree as well. Chinese drywall issue. That's another great one, Lee. It's another great one. Daniel, I do hydrate, bro. I am bred for war, my friend. And that requires hydration. Good morning, Stella. All right. Legal, political, and military. The Minnesota National Guard is now armed. Repeat, the Minnesota National Guard is now armed per a warning from the FBI on a specific threat. The state's National Guard is mobilized at a level that hasn't been seen since pre-World War II. We got pics of National Guard in the streets on Patreon. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. What a ridiculous thing, by the way. Let's just pause for a minute. You know what I see when I see that in my mind? I see like a wizard. I'm the High Commissioner with like a pointy hat and a staff. You know what it says to do with wizards in the Torah, right? Just saying. Okay. Take him outside the gates and get rid of that fella. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights called for charges and convictions for U.S. officers who used excessive force. That's cool, bro. How about you sit down and shut your face? Now, that being said, I do believe that if you are a law enforcement officer that violates somebody's rights and or beats them freaking senseless, then you should be subjected to a trial of your peers, and if you committed a crime, be found guilty, like every other human being within these borders of the United States of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't care if you wear a badge or not. I don't care if you have black skin, brown skin, white skin, yellow skin, red skin. I don't care. I don't care if it's green skin with purple plaid and black and gray stripes. I don't care. We are all endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. If you commit a crime, per our United States Constitution, you should be tried by a jury of your peers. And if you're guilty, you're guilty. And if you're not, you're not. Period, the end. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This I will defend. Period, the end. And also, shut up, United Nations. We're doing just fine over here. Yeah, half the country's on fire, and it's chaos in the streets, but we're still doing better than y'all are, okay? So, shh. News of military advancements across the globe continue. That's kind of an ominous one-liner. Thank you, monkeys. Societal and general. 82 people were shot, 19 fatally, in Chicago's deadliest day in 2020. In 2020, not their deadliest day, period, just their deadliest day in 2020. 82 people shot, 19 fatally. Bear, I don't gotta leave the cities, man. It's cool here. Oh shit, everything's on fire and people be dying. Maybe I should have left. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I told you. 82 people were shot, 19 fatally, in Chicago's deadliest day in the last 6 months. Coral Gables, Florida. During a protest, police officers from different departments attended and took a knee in solidarity and prayer. That's cool. In Niagara Falls, New York, the protest was not violent. Cops and protesters shook hands. That's cool. See, that's the difference between a protest and a riot. You have the right to peaceably assemble, to use your First Amendment, God-given, constitutionally protected rights to redress your grievances to those that govern you and their representatives. We have that right. We should be exercising that right. Have we forgotten about hashtag Waking the Giant, 4th of July, peaceably assembling to let people know that the government doesn't own us and we don't require their permission to exist? Because I haven't. We're still doing that. But there's a huge difference between peaceably assembling and burning your own neighborhoods to the ground. And then blaming it on somebody else. In Louisville, Kentucky, police officers and National Guard soldiers enforcing curfew returned fire taken from within a large group, and a man was killed. We reported that on that last night. 19? Was it 19 people that were shooting at him? And who was killed? The business owner. There have been multiple instances of cars and trucks driving into crowds of protesters and/or rioters. In some cases, footage appears to be drivers panicked at being surrounded by violent rioters, but in most, the incidents look very intentional. At least several states are close to bankruptcy and will likely ask for federal aid sometime in the future. Federal aid to do what? With what? Do you even undermine the value of your own fiat currency, bro? Do you even know how to have an economic crisis, bro? The good news, here's the good news. Well, the real good news is your creator is still sovereign all of this, and he sent a redeemer for you so that if you walk in his footsteps, none of this matters anyway. That's the real good news. That's called the gospel. I would encourage you to look into it. The good news on a worldly level is that basic preparedness covers all of this. Oh no, food shortage. Stack food to the rafters, make food grow up out of the ground. Oh no, economic crisis. Be as independent from the system as possible, stack food to the rafters, make food come up out of the ground. Oh no, there's rioters in the streets. Let me get exhibits A and B. Hold. Oh no, there's rioters at my door. Oh wait, never mind, that doesn't matter. And I'm the only one here right now. You should see what it's like when we're fully staffed. The last place on earth you want to be throwing bricks, bro. The last place on earth. I promise you, the last place on earth you want to throw some bricks. But I digress. Basic preparedness covers all of this. Oh no, I've got a major laceration. Handled. Right? Basic preparedness. Hey, the electricity went out and they quit pumping water. Good thing that I have a water filter and I have a way to resupply that water filter and I have some water storage because I'm doing the things. So, yeah, the world's burning. Literally, the world is burning. But basic preparedness covers all of this. That's why, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2,000 videos at this channel. 2,000. In the last 2.5 years. That works out amortized to just under 3 videos a day, every day, for the last 2.5 years at this channel about faith and preparedness. Hey Bear, how do I? YouTube search bar, Bear Independent Butchering, Bear Independent Food Storage, Bear Independent Gardening, it's all here. It's all here. Please let it be a blessing to you. If you're brand new, go to the Prepper Classroom playlist here at this channel. Go to the playlists, Prepper Classroom. Bear, how do I put food in buckets? Just posted a video on that. Bear, how do I store water? It's in the Prepper Classroom. Hey, what should be in a bug out bag? What should be in a first aid kit? What caliber do I need? How much ammo do I need? How much food storage for how many people? It's all there. Start in the Prepper Classroom. If you need a refresher course, Prepper Classroom. It's all there because basic preparedness covers this whole thing. Economic crisis, food shortage, civil unrest, tyranny, war, disinformation, and Rome burning is all covered by basic preparedness. And so I cannot encourage you more strongly to get prepared on the most basic of levels. And if you already are good, go deeper, go wider, do more of it. This is what we call positions of strength. I want to be so wildly good that I can help lift other people up. Positions of strength. I can't lift you up if I myself am dragging ass. Okay, so I got to be good. When I'm good, then I can come alongside you, lift you up. We're running. Let's go, baby. Let's go, right? I have to have something to give you. Literally or metaphorically, I have to have something to give you. But I digress. Intel at bearindependent.com. Intel at bearindependent.com. Where do we send our intel? Intel at bearindependent.com. Where do we send everything else? Not Intel at bearindependent.com. You know what? Where's the monkey sticker? Because the dance monkeys have their own sticker. Do you know that? Hey, look, a giant drum set. Yeah, I know. I wasn't kidding. I actually have drum sets. Look at these. If you haven't seen these dance monkey stickers, they're freaking awesome. They got the little bear logo on the side of their headphones here. The best. Look at these monkeys. They even dance like this. These are like $3 at the web store, people. They're awesome. So Intel at Bear Independent goes straight to these guys, the dance monkeys, and then they compile. Literally, I have a cage, and they're all sitting around in the cage like this with little computers typing away like this, throwing poop at each other, then typing, and then they send me this brief. There you go. What else we got? BearIndependent.com. Bear Independent. You guys know about BearIndependent.com. We got, look, what color IFAC you want? You like the coyote? There's some coyote. You like multicam? Here's some multicam. You like OD green? Here's an OD. You like, maybe you like Marpat Woodland. Here's some Marpat Woodland for you. What else we got? How about some red? You like red? Red's a good color. Red with reflective striping. There's one. How about gray? Gray's cool. You like gray? Oh, hey, there's some gray. Awesome. How about, I don't know, how about black? You like black? Yeah, we got black. Also, yes, we're working on woodland, classic woodland right now. And look, hand-stitched, made in America, guaranteed forever. So you can get that at bearindependent.com. You can get all your stickers, patches, t-shirts, hats, blowout kits. What else we got? I don't remember what else is in the store. All kinds of stuff. But I do want to show you this. For everybody who's new, look, this is the Bear Fac. We're going to be quick. This is the Bear Fac. Purpose-built blowout kit, purpose-built for dealing with gunshot wounds, arterial bleeds, major lacerations, puncture wounds, tension pneumothorax, all the bad things that can happen to a person who's carrying a gun. That's what this is made for, okay? Obviously, it's got hook and loop. There's a badass patch right there. Get that at the store. This Molly's on, hand sewn, made in America, guaranteed forever. Did I mention made in America? Unlike every other blowout kit out there that's made in China, sourced with Chinese components, and then sold to you at a gigantic premium. Trauma pack! Oh man, excuse me. Archangel Medical. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Yeah, and lots of others too. Bear Independent, handmade by Sojourn Gear. So you rip the lid open, and you got your quick clot right there. This is an additional, but you can put whatever you want up here. SWAT tee, cat tourniquet, quick clot, C-locks, compressed gauze, rolled gauze, whatever. So this has got some Z-fold quick clot on the top of it. Then you pull this out. Just pull it out. This was designed in conjunction with Special Forces and SF medics. It works. This has saved 5 lives. There's a reason there's 5 little hash marks in the logo for this kit. Those are the 5 lives that have been saved with this. And if you have saved a life with this kit, I want to know about it so we can update the logo. That's the whole idea. One day I want there to be 83 hash marks on that logo, okay? Red tab, you can hang this, whatever. You pull this, and it comes apart. In the back, you've got 2 high-fin chest seals, 2 5x9 gauze pads, nasal pharyngeal airway, 7 1/4 inch North American Rescue shears, the good ones, not the cheap ones. Real cat tourniquet, real decompression needle, nitrile gloves, duct tape, 6-inch emergency trauma dressing, and then down here in the bottom, you've got more quick clot, which comes standard with the kit, surgical tape, rolled gauze, compressed gauze, 5x9s, 2x2s, 4x4s, emergency blanket, North American Rescue triangle bandage, BZK wipes, and a handful of other stuff. All there, right in that kit, ready to go for $100 cheaper than that made in China bullcrap. And this, see this? Look, we can do this because we actually make our stuff in the US, made in the US. And right now, we are within stated fulfillment times, as stated on the website. So, do you even small business, bro? All right, we're putting this away. Cool. But I digress. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous. Quote, Target has shuttered in Minneapolis and St. Paul. This is a huge problem because Target is headquartered here, so they are the only game in town for some to buy food. They have boarded up all stores in town. That means a lot of people in Minneapolis and St. Paul can't buy food anywhere. Also, a lot of us are ready to defend our homes. We won't run. Good. Quote, Detroit has had very bad destructive riots which will cost the city and of course the taxpayers hundreds of thousands. What you may not be aware of is that at the state level we are on the verge of bankruptcy. My brother-in-law was just furloughed by the state, and he said that the state is $6 billion in debt and needs a bailout from the federal government to stay solvent. With all due respect, no. No. You reap what you sow. And if you have bad economic policies, you're going to reap bad economic results. I don't think it's right for the entire country on a federal level, their taxpayers, to be bailing out states that could not keep their poop in a group. I disagree with that strongly. I don't like money taken out of my bank account and given to other people because they couldn't do what they were supposed to do in the first place. Not a fan of that. Nottingham. London has so-called protests for George Floyd happening now. Another says, I've seen Antifa and commie flags and protests, so it's only a matter of time before things start to kick off. These protests are a front for the mayhem that could start. We've been in lockdown for months, and it's a tinderbox over here. An infantryman in the Indiana National Guard said members have been told to pack kits and be ready to respond to Indianapolis riots. It is not yet known if they will be issued plates and ammo. A Walmart in Birmingham, Alabama was boxing up all of their ammo. They said they would not be selling ammo until the riots calmed down. The guns were removed from the racks on Sunday. That's smart. In Nashville, Bass Pro is boxing up all of its ammo and pulling the guns from their shelves. And worried parents have called the Chicago Police Department saying their children are receiving texts inviting them to specific locations to quote, come and loot, end quote. I need more water, but it's over there, and we've already done enough walking this morning, so I'll substitute some disastercoffee.com. Tremendous. Two Pakistani officials were caught spying in Delhi, India. What else is new? The current situation on the Sino-Italian border appears to be under control. Sino-Indian border. Sino-Italian border. Wow, things have changed a lot since our last brief. Sino-Indian border appears to be under control. There have been no new cases in New Zealand for 10 consecutive days. No additional deaths and no one hospitalized. Good. Dubai's economy is in turmoil. Most of Dubai's businesses will shut down over the next 6 months if nothing is done. I don't know what to tell you, Dubai. I'm a little worried about Main Street America right now. That's where my attention is, not necessarily Dubai. Of course, are there international ramifications to that? Oh, absolutely. International economic ramifications? Absolutely. But this is a micro-macro thing. When there's people on your streets burning things down, it's a lot more difficult to think about the ramifications of what's happening over there. Which, this Hegelian dialectic, what are we not talking about right now? We're not talking about COVID, and we're not talking about international affairs. We're not talking about the South China Sea. We're not really talking about China and Taiwan. We're not talking about Russian aggression. There's a lot of things we're not talking about right now. Do you even smokescreen, bro? Remember, we've talked about previously that we have essentially ways of resolving conflicts. We have diplomacy. We have economic sanctions, right? We have war. And then we have covert operations. People who don't exist doing things that never happened in places that aren't on maps. Fun. And you can bet your tuchus that this has been going, first of all, this has been going on. The damn Israelites sent spies into the promised land, okay? Covert ops have been going on forever and a day, okay? So of course they are going on now too. I'm curious, not that we could talk about this on open channels, but man, I'm curious to see what is going on or what's even being discussed. Back channel, South China Sea, Eastern Europe, AFRICOM, Australia. There's a lot. Boy, there's a lot going on. And what a good smokescreen to keep people looking over here while we go and make stuff happen over here. Just saying. Just saying. Debunking misinformation. Note from the monkeys. We noticed the typo in our numbers from yesterday's report in the active cases for the USA. Today's numbers have been corrected. We apologize for the error. Also, hashtag monkey fingers. Belief. I heard processor prices are low. That means there is no meat shortage and we're being lied to. It's a conspiracy and people are just profiting off the ignorant. Well, no. Also, we have a one-sheeter coming out on meat shortage that we'll post on Patreon first, and then we'll come here and talk about it at some point. The reality is, while there are surely underhanded shenanigans going on nationwide in multiple sectors, the fact is that processing plants are slowed or closed in many areas, which translates to less livestock being processed, which means less meat in circulation overall for large chain groceries and restaurant supply stores. That will translate into higher prices in of itself. Also, increased demand means increased prices. Belief. This is funny. And that, yeah, if you're on Patreon, you're going to know what we're talking about here real quick. And I'm not trying to like shamelessly plug Patreon all the time. It's just there's a lot of additional stuff and behind the scenes stuff that happens there. So there's context here that if you're not there, you might not be aware of. Belief. Protestjobs.com is where they're hiring all the rioters. The reality is the site was built as a joke. It uses stock photos to represent customers and has no way to give or receive payment for services. The generic contact form produces nothing but a mail error message. Protest Jobs tweet stating original purpose can be found on Patreon. Actionable. Yay. The new firearms transaction record form has all the buyer information on the first page. Don't let people take pics of all your information and steal your identity and run your MasterCard up and move in with your wife. And next thing you know, you're living in a cardboard box with your brand new AK with Magpul furniture because it's all you got left because that's what you went to the gun store to get in the first place. Can't be having that, bro. Guard your personal information. Reach out and socially support others. Suicide is on the rise, even among children sequestered at home. Go hug your kiddos. Call people. Make sure they know that you love them, that you're here for them. It's bad times out there, man. It's bad times. For some, I mean, I got to be honest. We have amended our mission statement here. I've talked about this on Patreon. Our mission statement was very simple. Save lives. That's it. Hey, Bear, what do you do? Save lives. How? Let me unpack that for you. And it's a great mission statement because it garners permission from the person you're talking to go, what? Let me explain. And now you've got an in. See, we save lives here at Bear Independent because we share information and we create value by bringing wisdom and discernment to preparedness and homesteading and lifestyle and faith. Right? We save lives here. Grindstone Ministries saves lives. That's what it does. We rescue people and we rescue the rescuers as well. And in the process of rescuing, we create cathartic environments for people who are assisting the rescuers. So everybody, right? And we serve the Creator, save lives. Prosperity, our consultancy, saves lives. We help people get prepared for crap like this that's going on around the world. And these things, bare facts, literally save lives. That's why they exist. By the way, our prayer chain and a handful of videos here that people have reached out to us. The name of the Father is responsible for 15 suicides prevented because he's awesome here at this channel. 15. These kids have saved 5. So prayer and obedience to your Creator is 3 times more effective at saving lives. Historical data, actual historical data from my life, than a purpose-built badass blowout kit designed by Special Forces. Come at me, bro. We've amended our mission statement from save lives to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of His provision and blessing. Because by His hand, we are blessed. The world may be on fire, but it ain't on fire here. The world might be short on food, but it ain't short on food here. There might be chaos and uncertainty out there, but we are certain here. We're good. We're good, baby. We are good. And so it might be crazy out there, but I'm telling you and I mean it. Deuteronomy 28. If you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, then all these blessings shall come and overtake you. Well, I've been overtaken with blessings, and I would be a liar to stand here and pretend that I haven't been. So there's a real push-pull between what's going on over there and what's going on in here and what's going on around here. It's night and day, and I don't believe it to be an accident. I don't believe it to be a coincidence. And so I could not encourage you more strongly to seek the Father's will for your life and do it. And you will be abundantly blessed and provided for in the doing of. When you find your thing, whatever your thing is, and you start doing that not for you, but for Him, it's the unlock. It is the game changer in life. Okay? Tangent. Identity theft, scams, hacking, and viral misinformation abound. Stay aware. If you cannot acquire a freezer for meat, remember that pressure canning, pickling, and freeze drying are options. Also consider looking on alternative markets like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for individual sellers of freezers. Alternative food resources include Asian supply stores. Amish and monkeys, why are you picking on all the minorities? Asians, Amish people, Mennonites. This is unacceptable. What is it? Is this systemic racism? All the white people are out of food, so now we're going to go pick on the minorities? I can't believe you monkeys. Asian supply stores, Amish Mennonite stores, restaurant supply stores, and local farmers. Local farmers? We're going to go take their food too? Kidding. Pay them for it. Don't take it, pay them for it. I'm being facetious. If you need medical supplies, look at midwife and veterinary supply stores, and also bearindependent.com. If you cannot obtain seed in your area, plant your pantry. We printed all kinds of food. It tastes terrible, but it looks really good. We planted about 10 pounds worth of pinto beans in about 2,000 square foot, and it is a lush green carpet of pinto bean plants a foot tall. I can't even imagine what that bounty is going to look like. Out of a bucket, food storage bucket. Plant your pantry, y'all. You are surrounded by food. The world is abundant. Get out of this scarcity mindset and get into abundance. Lead into abundance. The world is abundant. I come to bring life and life abundantly, says Yeshua. And I don't mean abundance like, I need y'all to buy me a 737 so I can go preach the word in Zimbabwe. I don't mean that bull crap. I mean there are opportunities everywhere for you to engage in the blessing and provision of your Creator. Abundant. Plant your pantry. There is life in there just waiting to happen. Stay politically vigilant and contact your representatives. Keep HR 5717 and S3254 on your radar and contact your reps. Support medical care workers and small businesses. I'm telling you, small businesses are the lifeblood of this nation. 100,000 of which have already gone out of business. Things are getting ugly. They're getting ugly. And so if you are paying down your debt, and if your bills are paid, and if there's food in your pantry, and if there is food growing up out of your ground, and if all those things end, you have some scratch left in your wallet, please support a small business. There are a handful of small businesses that I love, that we will talk about at the end of this brief. But a small business, just pick one. Pick one. If you need tomatoes, instead of trying to brave the protesters to get into Walmart to buy tomatoes, go to the farmer's market. Go to that guy who's got the little stand on the side of the road. Because when you buy his tomatoes, you're putting shoes on his kids' feet. You're maybe sending some little girl to college, the first little girl in that family who's ever had an out, right? Or teaching some little boy or some little girl to funding their trip to Votech school to learn how to run a bead of weld and feed their family for the rest of their life. You're making mortgage payments, keeping diesel in the John Deere tractor for these people. It matters. Small businesses matter. So maybe you don't call Roto-Rooter, you call the local plumber instead. Okay, support small businesses. Silver linings. I contacted my MAG, Mutual Assistance Group, MAG. I contacted my MAG from Bear Nation and Viking Preparedness. Rah! Come out of her, my people. I'm a little biased towards that guy. Good friend of mine. I contacted my MAG from Bear Nation and Viking Preparedness. They are amazing people and are all on standby to help reinforce my position should it become compromised. I have 2 young children and am locked and loaded. Praise Yah that my MAG is here to help me. Thank you, Bear Nation, for bringing us together. I feel much safer with them around. Pray for us in Philly. Quote, Bear Nation is making great progress attaining livestock and food preps. Several have turned their friends and neighbors into a MAG, Mutual Assistance Group. And one said they found a MAG that turned out to consist of many of their friends. Imagine that. I'm telling you, there are people around you that are already preppers and you just don't know it because you're just not asking. And if you live in the country or on the edge of the country, prepping is a way of life. If you live in Maine and you don't have 6 months worth of food in your pantry before winter, you gonna die. That's not prepping, that's living in Maine. That's the way it works, right? And so there's a lot of people, if you just reach out and talk to them. I mean, I got to talking with one of my neighbors, a guy, an older gentleman who I didn't know that well. Should have talked to him anyway, right? And it turns out he keeps bees and he's got cattle. And oh, by the way, here's 80 acres over here that you can hunt anytime you want. And I've got some tomato plants that you can have. Here you go. We started these. We didn't have room for them in the garden. And we were like, hey, here's some chicken that we butchered. And here's some turkey eggs because we know you like turkey eggs. And hey, do you need any help with anything over here? Yeah, we've got a bunch of hogs that are tearing up our bottoms over here by the creek. And it's really getting out of hand. Cool. We'll kill them for you. We don't butcher them and we don't eat them, but we'll kill them for you. Cool. Not a problem. Do y'all need any food? No, we're good. Oh, you into preparedness? Well, we was just always kind of raised to hold a little back. And they were. They were always kind of raised to hold a little back. Have another neighbor who drops us round bales of hay for our sheep. Please let me pay you. Nope. Please let me pay you. Nope. That's why the good Lord gave us neighbors. That's what the man said. And he's damn right. That's why the good Lord gave us neighbors. You're surrounded by people that can be an asset to you if you just go talk to them. Just go talk. It's like kindergarten. I know the first day is a little crazy. It's a little scary. It's brand new. You're out there by yourself. Mommy's not holding your hand. You don't know any of these people. Just go talk to them. Sit down next to somebody and start coloring. See what happens. Okay? Due to the restrictions, a woman has been able to be with her husband while he battles cancer. Bless y'all. Quote, I've been begging my wife for years to get chickens and to be more determined with a garden that offset our dependence on the supply chain. After watching 2 daily briefs, she woke me up and said we could get 4 chickens in 5 weeks, and 1 day later, we have 22 chickens and 5 that are 5 weeks old and another 15 pullets arriving the week of June 15th. Your wife must know my wife. Let's get 4. Okay. I thought you said 4. Oh, I meant 4 dozen. Oh, and by the way, there's 40 more dozen coming. Okay. Rough calculations put us around 530 to 550 dozen eggs per year for our tribe and our mag. So 10 dozen eggs a week. That's something. Eggs are really good for you too. Especially pastured eggs. You just let your chickens run out there and eat bugs and eat grass, and instead of 35 micrograms of folic acid, which is incredibly important to pregnant ladies, by the way. When you get an egg from the store, it's labeled to have 35 micrograms of folic acid. How about 1,050? How about 30 times, 30x the folic acid just from letting your chickens free range and eat bugs and do what chickens do. Chickens have superpowers, man. They eat bugs and they eat corn and grain and they turn it into meat and eggs. And they eat your table scraps, and they make compost. They're incredible, incredible animals. And they're little tiny velociraptors. I wish that they actually had these arms. Instead of wings, if they just had these arms, it would be the best ever. I'd be like, yeah, we can have 4,000 of these things because this is cool. I'm going to get the little 4-inch G.I. Joes and pretend that we're in Jurassic Park with all the chickens running around. It'll be great. It'd be great. We can't do that because chickens don't have little arms. They have wings instead. We're so close, though, Bear Nation. She has taken ownership of managing our 1,500 square foot garden. We now have a 1-year supply of our 9 basic meals. Thank you for motivating the greatest wife in the world, for me, of course. Thank you, Lauren, for helping our family become stronger. Good job, Lauren. Y'all are awesome. Now be nice to your husband. Give him a back rub or something, and his feet probably hurt. He's had a long day at work doing whatever he does. Be nice to him. A viewer found clearance chicks for $1 each at Tractor Supply in York, Pennsylvania. Those pics are on Patreon. Quote, amongst all the chaos, I am pleased to report some good news. I'm from a fairly small town by the name of Shelton, Washington. Yesterday, we received word that a protest was scheduled for our town today at 1 p.m. We formulated a plan of action, and the next day we had approximately 60 armed civilians, many in full kit, there on Main Street to guard the local businesses. Cops were swarming the area too. The protesters showed up, saw us, turned and left. These riots can be prevented if we, the sheepdogs across the U.S., protect our own. Amen. And there's pics of that on Patreon in this brief that was posted yesterday. Amen. I'm telling you, some thug in a mask shows up and you're standing there with one of these on. Like, sup, buddy, let's party. That brick in their hand doesn't seem like a really good tool for the job anymore, does it? Because this fixes that quick. Notes. Find local food resources and like-minded peeps at bearindependent.com. The forums. I just saw an email the other day. They're like, Bear, where do I find people? I only say it every day, y'all. The forums at bearindependent.com. Where? Where is that? bearindependent.com. Click the little menu, forums. And then you're in Badger's world, baby. You're in Badger's world. Badger runs the forums because he's a total badass. Clap hand for Badger. Good job, Badger. You can find the Prepper Classroom digital downloads, thumb drives, bear facts, emergency supplies, t-shirts, stickers, hats, patches, blah, 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 blah. All that's on the store. bearindependent.com/online store. Let's see what else we got here. To support Grindstone Ministries, which is our ministry, you can go to grindstoneministries.com. Click the Donate Now button. You can also drink a cup of coffee. Disastercoffee.com. I'm going to do that right now. This is their supply drop, is the name of it. It's really good. In fact, I need to order more because I've been eyeballing the Disaster Coffee that's in the Grindstone giveaway thinking, I'm just going to take that one. I'm not actually going to take it, but I'm telling you, there's days where I'm like, gotta get me some more Disaster Coffee because I'm being tempted. So, oh, and if you're unaware of what's in the Grindstone raffle, tickets for that are at bearindependent.com in the store. Whew. Custom chest rig pattern for M4 magazines. Multicam bare minimum blowout kit, Fleming's Fabrication custom bushcraft knife that is the baddest of badass knives that have ever existed. Amendment 1 Preparedness 30 caliber canned ham radio inside of a 30 caliber can. Disaster Coffee bundle including bunker beans. Sanctified Supply Company swag bag with t-shirts and hats in it. Hero soap bundle. What else am I missing? Oh, Bear Independent patches and hats and blah, 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 stickers and all that. And, oh, I put some Bread for War t-shirts in there. I don't remember what else. Oh, and I put one of these. Blaze Defense Systems fire suppression device. The little ones look like flashbangs. They're not flashbangs, but the little 5-ounce ones look just like flashbangs. That's kind of fun too. You know, if you got to kit up and protect your homestead or your business, get some minis that look like flashbangs. Pull the thing and just hold it and just see what people do. Probably a bad idea. But yeah, I put one of these Blaze Defense fire suppression. These are essentially tactical fire extinguishers. Very cool. Stay. So anyway, that Grindstone raffle is tremendous. Sanctified Supply Co. They're awesome. Lucia and Jerry are awesome. Their shirts are essentially becoming my uniform. That Stay Humble and Kind shirt is essentially becoming my uniform. I love it. You can get that at sanctifiedsupplyco.com, or you can go to Amendment 1 Preparedness and get those canned ham radios. All of these companies support Grindstone Ministries. They essentially take a portion of their proceeds and donate that back to Grindstone Ministries. Grindstone being our nonprofit organization that is the construction wing of 200 or so badass volunteers from around the country that allow us to build and maintain facilities for charities that rescue victims of human trafficking and sex crimes. So while they're out there jamming up perps, rescuing victims, rehabilitating, the facilities that they operate in is what we're building and maintaining so that they can do their job, because they're really good at kicking doors, arresting perps, and rescuing victims. They're friggin' terrible at construction, but we love them anyway. And so that's what we're doing. That's what we'll do until such a time as the Father puts it on my heart to do something else. And I'm pretty sure that'll be never. So, grindstoneministries.com. Let's talk to Father Yah. Bless y'all and thank y'all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Do me a favor and just please share these out. Just please share these out. It's thank you. Father Yah, thank you for this. Thank you for this opportunity to do this. Thank you for the opportunity to just seek your face with 1,500 of my brothers and sisters and to humble ourselves before you and feel your presence and to be reminded that you are the Alpha and the Omega, the Aleph and the Tab, the beginning and the end, forever, yesterday, forever the same, yesterday, today, and forever, Father, that you are sovereign over all things, and that you may have allowed this world to be given over to the enemy for a time, but that you will set all things right again. And that there are those whom you love, Father, that you smile upon, that you protect, and that you bless. I just humbly ask that you would remember us today as we remember you. Father, thank you that as the world burns, we're good. Thank you for the conviction to be ready and to be sanctified, to be set apart from this broken system. Father, and thank you for restoration and redemption through Yeshua Messiah. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, we rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, command it to flee, to be lifted from us. Father, and take that void and fill it up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, that you'd be indwelt in us, that you would guide us where we need to go today, that you would be indwelt in us, that we would do many powerful and wonderful works in your name, that we would be indwelt with your authority and your strength and your love and your compassion and wisdom and discernment, and that we would seek your will and that we would do it. Father, as lawlessness rages throughout the country today, thank you for order. Thank you for setting captives free. Thank you for restoring kingdoms and for smiling upon your chosen people. And thank you for making a way for all people to come to you through Yeshua Messiah. Thank you for using me in whatever limited capacity I can serve you. Thank you. Father, lead us this day to do your things and to be a blessing to others. In Yeshua's name, amen. Have a blessed day, y'all. Really, have a blessed day, Bear Nation. Go be the light of the world. The world needs it right now. The world needs it right now. We need Yeshua and Yah more than ever. If you can go give that to someone else, to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. Shalom, y'all.